Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now, we have just literally got a few moments ago, Amazon Game Studios have given us the usual patch notes, basically, for Wednesday night. The patch will go live basically tomorrow morning if you're in the in Europe, in the UK, like myself. I believe for us it's around about 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and basically it's going to be going down for, I believe, about 6 to 6.5 hours. Now this normally happens a lot faster than that, so we don't have to worry about that, but I like it because for us it basically goes down whilst I'm asleep, and then by the time you're awake and you're doing what you need to do, whether you've gone to work, whether you work from home, you can just log on, roughly between 11 to 12 p.m. Again, like I said, that is just the European time. For America, let me just put it up for you guys and girls. So for America, it's going to be 10:30 p.m. PT. So yeah, so 6:30 a.m., which is UTC. So yeah, and it's going to be approximately 6.5 hours. Now, this is actually a pretty juicy update. They talked about a few more bits and bobs that I wasn't actually expecting them to mention. So we're going to briefly go through this with you guys and girls. Godspeed has got a video as well. Now, I'm not going to watch the video with you. So what I'll do is I will, of course, have this link in the description box down below. So go ahead and make sure you watch the video. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you the good stuff, what she mentions. So basically, she talks about the 2-star dungeons, which we're going to be getting tomorrow, which by now you should already know this. We're not getting the torture chamber. That is coming on December the 5th. I'm not sure why they decided to leave the one dungeon out on its own, but it is what it is. That's coming December 5th. Now, also, the juicy bits, what we're also getting on December the 5th is we're actually getting the custom war mode, so the AKA Battlegrounds that I mentioned in my previous video yesterday, which has just gone live on the Korean servers today. Upon getting into the game, it isn't quite Battlegrounds. It's the first implementation. It's basically a custom Riftstones and Boonstones where you need to create a lobby like you do for the dungeons. Like when you do the party board, you create a lobby, or you can obviously fill it up with your guildmates if you wish. It is cross-server though. I tried to get a few matches on Korea, but I couldn't get any games. But hopefully when it comes to our version on December the 5th, we have a higher player base, we have more servers and stuff like that. So I think it will pop quite easily over here on our version. Now, what we're also getting, so two things. December the 5th, we're getting the Torture Chamber dungeon, like I said. We're getting the War Games, which is what they're calling it. So the casual war mode. And then we're also getting Dimensional Trials, which is basically the challenge dungeon. So think of it's like Mythic Plus. It's the 30 tier dungeons, 30 tiers of dungeons basically, and that is for runes. So there's no limit on that whatsoever. You can farm these dungeons as much as you like all day long, and you get runes from it, and you level up your runes. So it looks like we're going to be getting the rune system on December the 5th, guys, which is really, really good. That's a big boost to our gear, our stats, and our power overall. So really, really good news. Now, for tomorrow, we're getting, these are the two-star dungeons, like I said. You should already know we're getting Carmine Rage Island, Void Wastes, Island of Terror, and Valley of Slaughter. Now, the items that we're going to be getting in there is the 2- and 4-piece set bonus equipment, as well as new accessory items. So we're going to be getting, like, for example, there's a new cloak in there. In Carmine Island, there's a Abyss cloak in there for bow staff players, for range players, which gives us extra range and stuff like that. So really, really cool. You're going to be able to finish off your set, like for your Shadow Harvester, for example. Now, I know in Korea, the pants are coming from the torture chamber. So a lot of people, including myself before, were saying, okay, so nobody's going to be able to get the pants. But I'm not 100% sure on that, for the reason of the fact that it says the rewards for 2-star dungeons include all, it says all existing 2 and 4 piece set bonus equipment. So if that does that mean we're going to be getting the pants then? Because why would it say that we're going to get all of the set bonus pieces if we can't? So we're gonna have to wait and see tomorrow, guys. When we log in tomorrow, we'll double check, and I'll let you guys and girls know. For the ones of you that obviously can't log on tomorrow, I'll have a video up on the channel straight away, so don't worry about that, just to let you guys and girls know. Now, they're introducing this Silesium Sprouts and Sages, which is basically, this is from Final Fantasy 14. This reminds me of Final Fantasy 14. So veteran players will be able to have the Sage title and status. So any brand new players who are Sprouts, they'll be able to obviously get in contact with players like myself, who would probably be able to be a Sage, and then you can ask some help and advice, things like that. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Nothing too amazing, but I just think it's a good idea. Now, the weapon skill and balance changes, I've already covered this on my channel before, because these are the exact balance changes that came in Korea a little while ago. Obviously the translation wasn't the best on those patch notes. So you can see here, Sword and Shield for Stalwart Bastion, they've added the new specialization. So cooldown reduction, decreases the Bastion cooldown by 15 seconds. When applied, it's going to cost you 5 spec points. For Greatsword Blood Devotion, again, they've got a cooldown reduction, decreases it by 15 seconds. Devoted Shield now shows the skill range. Precision Dash is now updated to count as a Fury attack when the bind specialization is applied. Vital Force now has the tooltip notation for the maximum health limit. Dagger, Vampiric Strike got increased base damage and skill heal. Frenzied Sword Dance added the new specialization. Area damage, it increases damage to all enemies within 3 meters of your arrival point by 60% of your base damage. Now, the knife throwing, they've increased the debuff applied that reduces incoming recovery effects. The crossbow's getting the changes as well. So for Selfless Diffusion, they've removed the CC from it. For Mana Exchange, they've added the specialization, remove CC. Then Explosive Trap, you get to have the increased base duration. Improved duration bonuses provided by the specialization, it increases the duration. Now, Multi-Shot decreases Nimble Leap's cooldown by 15 seconds. Longbow, this is the healer, basically the healer nerf, if you like, for Longbow Wand. So Healing Touch now shares the cooldown with the one skill Swift Healing, but it now stacks with other players' Healing Touch when used on friendly targets. Purifying Touch, increase the maximum effect stacks that can be removed when cleansing. The Devoted Shield, this is now, we're finally getting the, I wouldn't say it was a nerf as such, it's kind of a buff slash fix. It's because currently, as it stands, there is no internal cooldown for the shield on bow. So as soon as you weaken somebody who has a longbow, they get the shield consistently. So the more you weaken them, they keep getting the shield. Now with this being fixed slash changed, a bow user like myself, a staff bow user, I'm now going to get a 3-second shield when I'm hit below or either on 30% health or below it, and there's a 6-second cooldown. And I think it's a 6,000 HP shield. I can't remember exactly from Korea, but so yeah, I'm not really convinced it's a nerf, to be honest. It's more of a fix in my opinion. Now for the staff, Serial Firebombs, the specialization Focus Firebombs now has an 80% chance to reduce the effect of received healing by 80%, which is really, really huge, guys. Infernal Wave, they've adjusted the specialization. So the lightning version has 1 base activation and 1 additional activation for Wet and Frost. Chain Lightning, they fixed the specialization. Chain Thunder, so that it no longer activates the crossbow Mother's Nature bowstring effect. Ice Spear, they fixed an issue, so it's basically a bug fix for that one. Judgment Lightning, consecutive use now has an additional 80% chance to debuff shield block chance by 30%, which is really, really big. Infernal Meteor, they've increased, basically they're buffing Meteor because Meteor is trash. It's no longer as good as it used to be, so this was a much needed buff basically. Frostmaster, now when landing a basic attack, inflicts the frost effect on targets within 3 meters for 3 seconds. It doesn't stack. Wand, Clay Salvation. The weaken removal now removes all stacks of one type of effect instead of just one. Time for Punishment. Burning Time now also adds a debuff to shield block chance. Karmic Haze, they fixed the issue. So basically it wouldn't spread, in some cases it wouldn't spread. Adjusted to ignore shield block when spreading. Ray of Disaster, if a target dies during the effect, it transfers to an additional target within 10 meters. The specialization Expand target now provides 10 meters of bonus range, increased from 5, which is obviously a straight buff. And then move speed reduction now debuffs by 30%, it's been increased by 15. And then Swift Healing, we know this, it shares the cooldown with Longbow's Healing Touch. Now finally, we're going to also be getting the inter-server conquest battles. What this is basically, if you have a Riftstone or a Boonstone, every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, there's a cross-server event where, so for example, just say Mana Frenzy, you go into your Rift, you go into its own server, it's just like its own instance, sorry, and it's, so my guild on server A against your guild from server B, and you have to do, it's PvP enabled, but you have to do the event, and you can actually get Lucent. Basically, you can get, you know, as it says here, you join it for a conflict boss mode fight for the boss corresponding with your Riftstone for loot drops and Lucent. So it's very, 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 very cool. You get Lucent from doing this. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool PvP event. You get to fight other guilds from different servers, and you actually get to get some Lucent as well. And now general, just some bug fixes and stuff like that. They've added, this is huge as well, by the way, random matchmaking. Parties of 4 can now queue for random dungeon matchmaking, which has been increased from the prior 2. Chat, this is what we've been going on about for so long. We're finally going to get a chat for alliances. So you can finally have, you don't have to just rely on Discord now. You can actually chat with your allied guilds in game, guys. It's a very, very, you know, it sounds like a very, very basic feature, but it hasn't been in the game. So it's finally here. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys and girls. Pretty decent patch coming tomorrow. Some juicy news for obviously December the 5th. We're also going to be getting the winter event on December the 12th. So like I said, check this video out from Godspeed. Good video. I really like these videos that they're doing. And I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment down below. See you soon. Peace.